remember what I've mentioned before, that some of the top players like Bernard Baruch and others have said that whatever happens in government and in politics, whatever they tell the public, there's always a good reason for how they present it to the public, a good reason. And whether it's a tax increase or a war or anything else, they always give you what seems to be a good reason. And he said, then there's the real reason. The public are never allowed in to the real reason. Jumping from there, let's go back to Karl Marx and Abraham Lincoln. What did they have in common? They actually wrote to each other. That's what they had in common. And there's Pentagon Papers, and the records there where Marx actually telegraphed Lincoln, congratulating him on keeping, actually creating a centralized government, which was a prime plank of the Communist Manifesto, centralization of government. And as we drift along playing, because I say we've never had so much entertainment and data thrown at us so cheaply as today, even though everyone's losing their homes, they can always still watch all the cheap stuff on television or the computer. We find that there's executive orders just flowing out of the White House and no one cares about it. Centralization of government, remember. In Obama, just I think it was yesterday, out of the White House came a press release at whitehouse.gov. It says here, January 11th, it says, President Obama signs executive order establishing a Council of Governors. A Council of Governors. C-O-G, COG. But it says executive order will strengthen further partnerships. See, it's not a takeover or a merger of Big Brother. It's a partnership. It's like that word harmonization when they bring things. We're harmonizing your taxes with other taxes. It's harmony. That sounds good. We all sing in unison, doesn't it? Harmony is a good word. But this is a partnership. Partnerships are good, right? Again, psycholinguistics, you see. So strengthen and further partnership between the federal states and local governments to better protect. They always use that one. Our nation. Protect. Protect's a good word, isn't it? The President today signed an executive order attached, and I'll put these links up on my site at the end of the show, establishing a Council of Governors to strengthen further the partnership between the federal government and state governments to protect our nation against all types of hazards. When appointed, the Council will be reviewing such matters involving the National Guard of the various states, while they're centralizing all the military at home because trouble is coming along, if you can't quite get the message and reason for it. Homeland defense, civil support, synchronization and integration of state and federal military activities in the United States. Let's put that again, mate. Synchronization and integration of state and federal military activities in the United States. And I'll be back with more on this order after this break. Hi folks, this is Alan Watt. We're cutting through the matrix, reading an executive order that Obama has just put through, and it's to do with basically a council of governors being erected to basically take care of all problems at home. Obviously, they don't say problems at home, but since it's all to do with home and military activities in the United States, that they're expecting something big. And that's what it really is. That's what it is. Something big is going to happen. It says federal members of the Council include the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Assistant to the President for Homeland Security and Counterterrorism, the Assistant to the President for Intergovernmental Affairs and Public Engagement, the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Homeland Defense and America's Security Affairs, the U.S. Northern Command Commander, the Commandant of the Coast Guard, and the Chief of the National Guard Bureau. The Secretary of Defense will designate an executive director for the Council. It's like the whole kit and caboodle is in there. And something big will come up. We've watched all this crisis creation. We've watched all this con games with the sinking of the banks who then got paid for doing it. And the taxation of the public is still to follow. It hasn't hit the prices just yet. Not completely. It's just starting to, you're starting to see the inflation. But big trouble is coming. Big trouble is coming. And it was planned that way a long time ago. Every scenario that could happen, even by accident, is practiced over and over in simulations years ago, over and over again, but nothing is happening by accident at all.